So, good morning, dear students. So, welcome back. So, we're going to continue with the topic on human resource analytics, and we're going to go into Unit 4 today. And Unit 4 is actually the qualitative and quantitative techniques in human resources. And here you're going to see a very critical topic, survey designing, and what I mean by scaling and sampling techniques. So, this is actually the topic for the day. So let us get into this topic in depth. So let us understand the topic in depth. And what is a survey? Now, survey is actually a systematic method of gathering information from a sample, okay, of individuals for the purpose of describing the attributes of a larger population of which the individual members. Okay, so basically describes the sample and the population. A single survey is made up at least a sample or it can be a full population in the case of a census, because if we talk about census data, you want to take the full population. Suppose you want to measure the population of India, then there's actually a census, and then you have to take the full population. You can't take a sample. And it's also a method of data collection using a questionnaire, and also individual questions or items that become the data that can be analyzed statistically. So this is actually a simple understanding about the survey. And a single survey may focus on different types of topics, like for example, survey can be of very types. So these are some of the examples. For example, you want to know preferences of the presidential candidate, because India is very the largest democracy in the world. So who will be the prime ministerial candidate, which party is going to win, and on the opinions. For example, should abortion be legalized, and behavior, smoking and alcohol use. So should it be actually what is the opinion? Surveys will reveal. And so these are some of the various areas where we can do a survey. So the success of a survey or research is highly depending on the representatives of the sample. So that is a very critical. Sample should be representative of the population. So that is a very critical parameter here. And survey design. And this is actually the survey design. So we will start like this. Select the construct and find the dimensions. So construct is nothing but actually the grouping of the variables. So that is what is the construct statistically, and the dimensions also with respect to the actually particular area of variables. So it is called construct and dimension. And once you have that right, then frame the questions. And then once you frame the questions, then there is something called validity and reliability, where actually you validate the survey instrument, and also based on some samples, small samples, you find out whether this actually the questionnaire is reliable, whether it is able to produce the same results across. And once then after that, you choose the sampling methodology, whether it is going to be a cluster sampling or it's going to be random sampling. There's a lot of methodology sampling. And then once you select that, and then you actually administer it as a survey, and then reevaluate and refine. So this process is actually in a loop. So this is actually how you really design a survey, and then you move forward. And what are the 10 good steps in a survey design is, one is identify what you want to cover in your survey, and put the questions which are really necessary, because unnecessary questions is actually really going to reduce the accuracy of a survey. And keep it very short and simple, and ask one question at a time. If you, that is where you're going to get very proper responses. And avoid using jargons, so that the user whom you're going to collect the data understands it very well. So you have to decide whether it is open-ended questions or closed-ended questions, and spend time to design your survey. That's very important. And analyze the responses after collecting, because there's a lot of analysis which you need to be done after collecting, and put a summary report together and conclude your plan of action. So this is actually a very simple steps to a good survey, actually a survey design. And next we'll see, this is actually the some of the best practices. A very good survey design should have a good clarity. Okay, it has to be very specific, and ambiguous language should be avoided. The flow should be very simple. Okay, you got to keep it very short. Okay, and you got to put demographics in the end. And relevance is very important. You choose the right audience, and objectivity, and you have to avoid the questions which are biased. And look and feel visually appealing is very important, because so that what happens, it improves the user participation in surveys. And the structure should be actually limit the open-ended questions, and multi-choice questions should be mutually exclusive. That is very important. and include neutral or neutral choice options is also very important. And this is actually the various phases of the survey. So this is very clear. We already have research model development and phase two survey, and then we have a case study and the validation, which is also coming up. So, and this is actually one more process of research. So analysis of participation of recruitment, data collection, analysis results, collection, collective interpretation results, information gathering. So thank you very much for participating in the section, and I look forward to the next session very shortly. Thank you very much.